Thank you to all of you for those reflections and comments. I hope that you will all stay for some refreshments afterwards and be able to share further your stories. Those stories you didn't feel appropriate for the sanctuary. You can share those in the other room over coffee and cookies. But you begin to get the sense of who Raleigh was. Again, you hear the characteristics over and over. He's certainly a man that we celebrate, and a man who is so filled with love. I want to add a few other details about his life. There's a great summary of his life in the bulletin that you received, and I encourage you to look there. A few other things as well. Raleigh was born on August 25th, 1924 in Hutchinson, Kansas. Raised on a farm, as was mentioned. During his younger days, he thought that he would go into printing, and he served as a copy boy at his local newspaper office. But then the Second World War came along. Raleigh enlisted in the Navy. He served on active duty from July 9, 1943 to May 12, 1946. And I see there's two different stories, Shirley. You'll have to tell us which one is right. That it was during that time either at a USO club in San Francisco or at an arranged dinner dance in Alameda that you and Raleigh met. Which one do you remember? The USO in San Francisco. And he took you dancing. Anyway, that was the best thing that ever happened to Raleigh, was meeting Shirley those many years ago. And while he was, throughout his time in the Navy, he wrote to Shirley every day, I have been told. And the rest becomes history. After boot camp in Idaho, Raleigh was sent to the Naval Air Technical Training Center in Millingtown, Tennessee. He was trained as an aviation radio operator. He was also sent to gunnery training at the Naval Gunnery School at Jacksonville, Florida. So he became a crew member of a PBY, and he was qualified both as a radio operator and as a gunner. After completing over 31 weeks of training, he was assigned to the Naval Air Station at Banana River, Florida. I just love that word. It sounds so picturesque. Banana River. From March of 44 through February of 45, he was stationed in Corpus Christi, Texas. Then he came back here to Alameda, then to Oahu, then to Perry Island, and Uwutak, atoll in the western Pacific Ocean. He was stationed there when the war ended, and so after the war, his squadron was moved on to, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Sasebo, Japan, flying mail and passengers to various places, including Hong Kong, Okinawa, Shanghai, and the Philippines. Raleigh was discharged from the Navy on May 12, 1946 at Norman, Oklahoma, after serving for 2 years and 10 months. By the way, he enlisted before he was 19 years old, a couple of months short of his 19th birthday back there in Kansas. And for his service, he was awarded the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal, World War II Victory Medal, the American Campaign Medal, and the Good Conduct Medal for honorable and faithful service. After he left the service, he did two very wise things. He married Shirley in 1947, and on the GI Bill, he was able to complete his education to become a teacher at San Francisco State College at that time, I suppose. And then he came to Petaluma in 1953 to begin his high school career at Petaluma High School, and taught there for his entire career, teaching courses in business administration, bookkeeping, typing, office machine, and computer operation. And I can only imagine the changes that he saw during that time and all that equipment. It must have been He was the one who often taught classes and sought out students who otherwise were not going to be paid much attention to. And perhaps there are many of you here who are his former students who still remember the special attention that he gave you and how important he was in your own learning career. He retired from teaching in 1983. When I came here to Elam 35 years ago, I realized Raleigh was 53. I just remember coming here and Raleigh being really old. I learned quickly that Raleigh was, in the time between when my predecessor had left and I came, it was about a year's time, and Raleigh, and I think it was really Raleigh was the moving force. There was a special offering that was being taken throughout our Northern California synod, all of California, to raise money for building new congregations. And usually when there's a pastoral vacancy in a congregation, things kind of grind to a halt. But in fact, under Raleigh's leadership, Elam was awarded special attention by the synod for the incredible job that they did, raising money for that really missional project. And I was always very impressed with that this congregation under Raleigh's leadership stepped up and was able to accomplish that. Shortly after I came, Raleigh and I went to, I think it was a stewardship meeting, again, together down in Nevada, and I remember driving way out into the country to pick Raleigh up. But after going to that meeting and getting to know him better, I realized here was one of the solid core folks of this congregation, and I would do well to really get to know him. And over the years, Raleigh continued to be so supportive. Raleigh was, that guy who was always older, and yet was one of those saying when change came along, Raleigh was the one who said, we need some change. We need change here. Yeah, we need to do things differently. And again, that supportiveness and that lack of any kind of judgment. I knew that I could always talk to Raleigh. He would tell me the truth, and he would raise the issues that needed to be raised, and he would support the decision and would go along with it. Raleigh was, and he was always so optimistic. Yeah, let's go ahead. We can make this happen. When we put a large addition on here 15, 18 years ago, Raleigh was one of those that said, we can do this. We can do it. Raleigh was always incredibly generous. One of his goals was to have an endowment fund here at Elam, and he worked to talk the rest of us into that for many years. And then when we finally did, he served on the committee for a number of years. I think he was the chairman for, 4, 5, 6 years of that group. I know he served on the church council, church leadership team many times. One of those was during the tenure of Pastor Magnuson. Those of you who don't, very few of you remember that. Pastor Magnuson's wife was killed in an automobile accident during his time here, and then you can imagine the congregation was in some challenges. And Raleigh was the president of the congregation during that time and served so well to support the pastor as well as to keep things going in the congregation. I also remember one particular congregational meeting where we had not yet nominated a secretary. Well, this was 20, 25 years ago when there was still the idea, well, yeah, I have a woman as a secretary. And so we were sitting there at the meeting, and finally Raleigh raised his hand and said, I'll be the secretary. And sure enough, I think he served for 2 or 3 years, and as you might guess, did an incredible job. He and Shirley sang in the choir when our choir went to Europe some years ago. Then they stayed on and sang for a couple of years after that. I'm sure there's all kinds of ways that Raleigh served here and in other ways in the community. Many of you know that better than I and remember those better than I. But he was always there, always ready to help, always willing to see that the important things got done. I really realized that I have never imagined Elam Lutheran Church without Raleigh Beaver. It's going to be very strange to be here at that 8 o'clock service and to look back there, Shirley, and to see you there alone. And I know it won't be nearly as strange for me as for you. but he has been one of the anchors, the pillars, however you want to describe him, of this congregation and of this community for so many, many years. When Raleigh's mother, living back in Kansas, was no longer able to live alone, Raleigh and Shirley, in their generosity, moved her out to live in their home with them, and she was there for about 10 years. And I want to recognize that even though that may have been Raleigh's idea, Shirley, I know you were the one who provided most of the care for her, because you were the one that was home. But even so, for both of you together to do that, again, open heart, open life, so generous to welcome her into your home and to provide all that care for so long. And I know that was not an easy time. You and Raleigh got to travel a lot, the camping trips during those expected 3-month summer vacations. Plus, I know after you retired, you've been able to travel a lot. What a gift that is. And of course, I don't know just how it works when we go on to the next life, but I would love to imagine Raleigh right now sitting down and talking to Bill Walsh, his good friend. I know he's had innumerable conversations with Bill Walsh through the television set through the years, but I'm sure that he's at least looking for him and to have some time together.
2 days before, the last couple of days, he was mentioning it would be nice to do John Wayne.
And John Wayne. So there may be a contest who gets Raleigh first. I did, however, notice not only the signed picture of Bill Walsh on the bulletin board, but the signed picture of the 49er cheerleaders on the board. The Gold Rush girls. Raleigh was a realist, and even during the last few months of his life, when he knew the situation, he knew the difficult time that was coming ahead, he was still able to look that in the eye and to say, I want to live as long as I can, because he loved life, and he loved all of you. He loved all of us. And he wanted to be here with us all as long as he could be. And yet he was also able to face death and without regret, without fear, to be able to say, I know what's coming, and I look forward to being in the presence of God as well. He was so thankful for life, and I can't tell you the number of times in my last conversation with him when he said, I've had such a good life. We've had such a good life together. And indeed, he has. Not rich and famous, no name on the marquee, but true to his word, true to what he said he believed. Good neighbor, good friend. There aren't all that many 88-year-old people who have a room full at their funeral, of people who still know him, have talked to him recently, who love him, and who will miss him as much as we will all miss Raleigh. Revelation 21 says, Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more, and I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling of God is with humanity, and God will dwell with them, and they will be God's people, and God himself will be with them. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. And he who sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And indeed, that's the promise that we hold on to today. We know that for Raleigh, it's all new, as he goes to be in the eternal presence of God, filled with God's light and love, and that will go on forever. But also, surely for you, that promise is there, that God will continue in your own life to make all things new. You know, at the moment, life may feel like this jigsaw puzzle that has been tossed up in the air and the pieces are scrambled around. And there are some that are missing now. But the promise is that God will be with you and help you with your wonderful family to be able to put that together in a way that will be meaningful and that will make sense again. And those pieces will always be missing, but the puzzle will still fit together and life will be good. The promise is that God will continue to do new things in your life through the grief, through the loss, at times of great loneliness. But remember, God is with you through all of those times. And we'll be creating new things, some new surprises. You will experience God's love and presence in unexpected ways. And life will still be good. So may you, Karen, Rod, Lori, families, all of us here, may we be filled in this moment and in the months to come with God's love and grace and presence and strength, and finally also with God's joy. May God bless